Bueller? 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 All right.
Okay.
Hey, movie reference, man.
I
Welcome
know. We
back.
fucking. All
Welcome
right.
back to another week of life and the box office dynasty. It's me, Josh,
And me, Jack.
and we're back. Jack, how was your vacation? You're back, man.
It was amazing, dude. I just took a cruise to Bermuda. Bermuda. You know
Yeah,
that? You
wait,
know that, right?
real ones remember on this exact show when Jack said, "Who is Brian Wilson?" during our Brian Wilson tribute. And now here he
Dude, his
is.
name's not in the band title.
But he's the lead of the band. Everyone knows Paul McCartney and John Lennon are the leads of the Beatles. Freddie Mercury's the lead of Queen. Brian Wilson's the lead of the Beach Boys. I mean, come on. This is classic rock
Yeah, but
knowledge.
I don't know. His name's not like iconic to me. Whatever. Anyway,
I
my
think
vacation was awesome.
fake fan.
I only know one song, dude. I am a fake. I'm not even a fan. I just like one song.
You just like Bermuda.
I had a great time. I like Bermuda. Bermuda was fucking awesome, dude. We went to this museum that was sick. We went to the beaches. I saw some dolphins. There was a pirate ship called Calico Jack's, which was it was a bar, but it was a pirate ship, like docked. So it was sick. I got a t-shirt and a hat there. I should have been repping it, but it was pretty
But you
sweet.
chose Guardians of the Galaxy instead.
Yeah, and some mountains and some Guardians of the Galaxy because it's the only thing that's matching. Because I didn't do my laundry since I've been back, so you know me. You lived with me, bro. You know I'm slow on the laundry.
Yeah, I know. It literally piles up, and then you'll be like, "Oh, there's no more room in the laundry bag," and then the floor became the laundry bag. But that's college, man. So that's college
Yeah,
with
it's not like that
Jack.
now. It's just all in my suitcase still.
Yeah.
But
No. I don't think you live like that now. We all moved past that.
I
Well,
had a
maybe
great
not all.
time. Unlimited beer, unlimited rum swizzle. The food was good. The drinks were even better. It was nice.
Swizzle faux shizzle. That's pretty cool, man.
No, shut up, bro. Shut up.
No. It's it sounds like it was a good vacation.
Yeah, it's cool, bro. Dude, I want to fucking
You didn't miss
like.
much. I mean, you really didn't.
No, I know it's been a slow week. I mean, this episode you'll explain what we're doing, but it's gonna be a slower episode. But I want to go, dude. We should go take the box office dynasty, take it overseas.
Take the bog. Can you? We couldn't even take it to Maine. How are we going to take the bog? I
When are
mean, it'd be great,
we're
but
taking it international, bro.
that would be pretty cool to do the box office dynasty in another country. It's like that Conan O'Brien Must Go show where he just goes
Yeah,
to
pulls up to
different,
Ireland and
yeah,
Belgium.
different places around the world. Argentina. He goes to like Japan, Mexico. It's pretty sick. You imagine if we
Or
did something like that?
let's go on tour,
Go on tour.
live
Yeah,
shows for the audiences.
Killian is going to be half the audience in most of the
And Ed,
places. Coming to
Ed's
you
the other
in
half.
Orlando, Jacksonville, in Maine, and maybe some
Connecticut.
town in Ohio,
Yeah,
Connecticut, somehow Ireland, but that only while we're drinking at the Guinness brewery there.
the fans will pull up. I know they will.
Yeah, no, I believe in it. The true ones will be there, and we love it. And you're all welcome to join the VIP club of the Box Office Dynasty, because you'll get T-shirts, and that could be pretty sick,
The merch is
right?
coming soon, guys.
Yeah, dude, we should make some merch. But no, like I said, you didn't miss much this past week. It's a pretty quiet week. I've been looking around. I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do this episode. So this is what we have for you this week. We're gonna play a new segment called Fill in the Box, which is pretty similar to something that we kind of trial ran on last week's episode, just on the spot. So we're gonna try it out here. Then we're gonna go over the box office numbers. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the new film Nobody 2 in theaters. Not a lot to say about that. Just going to preface ahead of time. That's why I'm saying slow week. Then we're going to talk a little bit of news regarding the Duffer brothers, and we're going to play a round of versus, and of course, give our seesaw. Not a lot. Pretty much a manufactured episode from head to toe.
Forcefully man-made by Josh.
You know what? Because we need to get the product out to the people, and the
That's right.
demand for more box office dynasty is there. So why should we skip a week when we can be here for you in
Demand
the
has
middle of summer?
skyrocketed.
Summer is chugging along, and we're going to chug along with you. We're here.
I like the name Fill in the Box because I'm probably going to fill in your box.
Oh. Let's clip that.
Chat, clip that. Chat, send that to the police.
There was some interesting, that's a good enough segue for something that I read not long before we started recording this, that I just thought this was interesting. I've never even seen the movie Crazy Stupid Love. Have you? It's always been on my watch list.
Yes, I have.
So
is that the one? Wait, that's the one with Ryan Gosling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
and
love
like
that movie.
Steve Carell and
yeah, that's a good movie.
I've never seen it. It's on my watch list, but the filmmakers of that movie have announced that they're coming out with a new film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Kevin Costner called Honeymoon with Harry. And the premise of this movie is wild, dude. It's so crazy. You got to hear this.
Are they gay lovers?
Honestly, this is almost worse. Not worse. That makes it sound bad. This is actually this is worse. God damn.
Them being gay lovers is bad only because of the age difference, I think.
You know why I say honestly worse? Because just listen to the premise. All right.
Okay.
It's not about, it's just that you're putting that in my head when I already know the premise.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is like a weird fucking movie. It's about a man who goes on a honeymoon with his would-be father-in-law after his fiance dies before their wedding. So when you put the gay lover thing in my head, it really confuses me. So I don't know if that would make this worse, is what I'm trying to say.
It's gonna end with them falling in love.
Can you imagine?
Like, yo, your daughter just died. You want to sleep in this bed with me and get in this jacuzzi with me, bro?
I just think it's so funny that it's like your fiance that you would spend the rest of your life with perishes, and the first thing you think of is, well, we still have these tickets for that honeymoon. Like, we still could go on that cruise to Bermuda, you know.
Your first choice is not your dead fiance's dad. Right?
Well,
like, at least take her mom.
I guess the approach is gonna be like, well, they try to reconcile their grief together through this trip and
the mom better
for
be
it with
too,
their bond on the other end. Well, I'm gonna guess that there's like not gonna be a mom in the picture or something. Like, I'm gonna guess
they're both single.
I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna guess that. Why are you pushing this gay lover storyline for this movie?
Because Kevin Costner is gonna be sitting in the bathtub, butt ass naked, rose petals all around. Jake Gyllenhaal is gonna walk right in, accidentally see him, and be like, "Oh, you have quite the hog there, Kevin." Boom, movie's done. That's the climax of the film.
Literally, climax.
Exactly.
It's going to be the climax of the film for them, too.
That's what they call it. That's why they call it that.
I don't know if when film was, invented and or even, storytelling was invented, because that's when climaxes became a thing. I don't know if that's what they had in mind.
Yeah, when the Bible was written, they were like, this is climax of the story.
But story structure predates the Bible.
No, it doesn't, bro. You're clearly we can't even get into this. I'm just joking, but
what I
was gonna say you're clearly not in favor with God right now.
I don't know that I am.
Nothing predates the Bible.
Okay.
I mean,
we're gonna brush that one off.
I hope.
Yeah, sure.
People listening, I don't actually believe that.
He's lying.
Okay. I had a question for you. So that is crazy. Before I forget.
Anyway, yeah, no, I don't know. I just I saw that before coming on, and I thought, man, that's a movie.
Something I saw online. This has nothing to do with movies or anything, but it's just a fun question I wanted to ask you. If you had to play any sport of your choosing against a random professional athlete, what sport would you pick? And you have to win. You have to beat them. You can pick the sport, but you
Or
can't
else
pick the
what?
athlete.
Or
You'll
else
die
what?
or some shit if you lose.
What? Um.
No, if you
So,
find nothing if you lose, but if you win, you get $1 billion.
oh, all right. So but it's a professional athlete that plays that sport. Because
No, it's a
some
random professional athlete from any sport ever, but you pick the sport.
who picks the athlete?
It's random. You pick the sport that you're playing, but it's a random athlete. So if you pick basketball, you could assume that most athletes are probably pretty decent at basketball because it's like not that hard to learn. But maybe like archery, most athletes can't do archery, but you probably
But
fucking suck at archery.
can I do archery? Like, I don't
Exactly.
fucking think
So
so.
like some sports are easier to do and athletes have done more than others. What sport are you picking?
Are but how do you even define, like, do they have to be athletes that are currently in their sports, or
Yeah.
can they be retired?
Yes.
Because what if I get like
No, because you're not
a
going up against like a 90
90-year-old?
year old basketball player.
All right.
No, they're current athletes, but
That's
whatever you would regard as
interesting.
professional.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Um I have no idea. I mean, I feel like no matter what sport I pick, I'm probably fucking losing. Um, but I think I would try my hand at maybe some pickleball. I think that
Okay.
could be, like, I think that's easy enough that maybe you get a couple of lucky bounces your way and you win the match. So,
How are you at pickleball?
I mean, I used to play pickleball a lot in high school for gym, and even just like, we would have some fun on the courts, but like I haven't played in a long time. But I feel like obviously it's you could say, oh, like track, like I'll run a race. But I feel like an athlete is just, fuck not, no way. Like
Right.
they could beat
Unless
you
you
in a
get a
race.
300-pound lineman, you're not running a dash faster or like you're not getting a mile faster than them,
And even some of them may still be able to beat you just based on the fact
Right.
that their conditioning is better than yours.
Like I think I
Likely.
would pick ping pong because I'm pretty
Uh,
like I'm good.
I mean, it's similar to what I picked. I get it.
The only sports I would consider myself good at are baseball, basketball, and ping pong. I'm like actually good, and then everything else I'm like either average or bad at. Like I fucking suck at soccer. Um, but baseball and basketball, I feel like most athletes have played that, and most athletes can get a grip on that. But you never know. Like if I'm playing basketball against like Simone Biles, isn't she like 5'1"? Like I feel like I'd just crush. But I'm gonna go ping pong because I'm good at it, and I feel like most athletes probably don't really play ping pong. They might have played it once or twice.
I don't know about crush. I mean, there's been short NBA players that have
Well, no, but
dominated,
I'm well
like
NBA players obviously, but if Simone Biles is a fucking gymnast,
right, but she's way more athletic than you, dude. Like way
100%.
more.
But she
So,
probably hasn't touched basketball in a long time, if ever.
why would you say that? Her husband is an NFL player. For all you know, they have touched a fucking basketball and played around and shot
I
around.
doubt it. I
That's a
doubt it.
wild assumption. When's
You
the
don't
last
think
time
you
you
think
picked up a basketball?
like a week and a half ago?
Okay. All right, Michael Jordan.
You fucking
How
asked
do
me, dude.
how do you know she hasn't done that a week and a half ago? What do you think she's doing right now? Like, how do you know what she's
Probably
doing?
doing flips and cartwheels and shit.
She might be not. I don't know if she's even going to be coming back in 28 in
What do
LA.
you think is more likely? Simone Biles has played more ping pong in her life or has played more basketball in her life?
Probably basketball.
I'd argue that she's probably played more pickleball than all three of those, than all two the other two.
Why? Why would you think? I would argue she's played the least pickleball out of those.
Pickleball's
I would
very
argue
hot right now.
I would argue most people have played the least pickleball out of those three.
Pickleball's very hot right now, bro.
Yeah, I know, that's why I picked it, but I don't think a lot
That's why
of
you
people
pickled
have
it.
just played. Yeah, okay. Um But yeah, I think some, and also I want to say about baseball, I wouldn't argue that most athletes could do it because it's easy. I would not pick baseball for the exact opposite reason. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports, especially if you're going up against a professional athlete. Like, if you get a pitcher up against you, because you got to play against a pitcher, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, no.
yeah, but if you get up against someone who can throw good enough, it's hard to hit.
Yeah, but
And if you
like
get a
that's
really
the
good
thing.
athlete,
If I don't get a baseball player, I don't think anyone's throwing it hard enough right down the middle for me to miss. I'm probably just gonna walk.
all right. But then what? Baseball's hard. You can't even. You know what's hard about baseball as an option
You
is it's
can't 1v1 in
can't
baseball.
1v1 in baseball. So then it's like, all right, well then what? Let's say you got to walk. All
A
right,
team of me's versus a team of them's.
you're probably losing then
I don't know, dude. Like
because forget pitching, they'll still probably be better at fielding than you and more
they
athletic.
they probably would be, and also if they make contact with the ball, they would smack the shit out of that thing, dude.
Right, farther than either of us will hit it. So I'm not picking
Yeah.
baseball.
No, I'm not. I'm going ping pong.
That's fair. It's just a smaller, condensed version of pickleball.
I
So I'm
know,
not even gonna like argue it or anything. I could see that. I
but I
thought
thought
it.
that was a fun question because there is really you're losing regardless.
Yeah, no, I mean that is an interesting one. There's a lot of fun questions. I was talking to my friend about the four major U.S. city question. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No,
What would you say are the four major U.S. cities?
in order or just four?
No, like no order, just the four major U.S. cities.
New York City, Los
Yeah, all right.
Angeles, Chicago, and the fourth one is a toss up.
Yep, that's the
I'm gonna
whole
go.
argument.
I'm gonna go San Francisco.
Okay, all right.
I could
I
have
respect
been
it.
convinced of like a city in Texas, maybe
There's
like
all right, so
Dallas.
there's a few cities that I said there's like a couple tiers of arguments that I think you could make to this, and then obviously the last one being the rest of the cities where you can't argue it. Because the
Yeah,
three
like
are
I'm not
obvious.
saying
It's New York,
right.
L.A., Chicago. Those are
Yeah,
three.
easy.
So the question is really, what's the fourth one? Like if you
Hmm.
had to pick a fourth one, and the ones that I would listen out, San Francisco was one I was willing to listen out. I'm willing to listen out Houston because it's one of the largest metro areas. So speaking of Texas, Houston's one of the
Yeah,
largest metro areas in the whole country and the whole continent for that matter. So that
sure.
puts it as a major market. I would hear out Miami for sure. Um, and then I could hear out DC because it's the capital.
I could
Um,
hear at DC. Yeah, like I'm not. You're not
and
gonna
then
hear out like Denver.
no, but to like a lower tier, I could kind of hear out Philly or maybe Boston based on historical standards. I'm not sure I would pick them, but
Oh,
I'll listen to the argument.
dude, I forgot about Boston.
I don't think Boston would be four for me, but I'll listen to an argument about it.
Boston, yeah, I can. Uh, oh man, I could see Boston being the fourth, but I think San Francisco is better.
My fourth one is probably Miami if I had to choose. I would probably go New York, LA, Chicago, Miami.
Okay. What about Des Moines in India, Idaho, wherever the fuck that is?
I thought Gary, Indiana, maybe, but then I said, that's probably more like five or six.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking 8 or 9, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it's literally called Gary, Indiana. That's a major city in my opinion.
That's a big W, man.
There's no Josh, Indiana. No
That was
Jack,
a Josh
Indiana.
Wine.
There is a Josh Wine. It is pretty good. They don't sponsor us, but maybe they will now.
Dude, that's funny. Like this whole I know we have like an episode to get to, but like this whole thing about like
So what is your
top
deepest, darkest nightmare?
well no, top fours is so interesting because the fourth one is always a question, I feel like. Like if I were to ask you what are the top 4 main fruits, I think you can give me 3 pretty off the bat. And I think the fourth one is always a question.
I know the three are apple, orange, banana, right?
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
literally exactly, dude. And it's the fourth one is wow. I wonder what the fourth one is. If I were to ask you, well, I don't know what the fourth one would be. Strawberry, grape,
My first thought was grape. It just felt
cherry.
right. No,
I think grape is
I think
mine.
grape rounds out because they're all different colors. And I don't know how to explain that, but it just feels like this kind of like rounded out group of fruits based on red, orange, yellow, and purple. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or green. It
purple's
just
way better though.
I mean purple makes sense and it is better, but like either or and it works all the same. So,
What are the four major countries?
the US, Russia, how?
Because I got it. I think I got it.
I England used to be, but I don't know if I would say it now. I guess England. Not France, not anymore.
No.
What would be the fourth one?
You
What
you're
would you
just missing
say?
a big one. You're missing a big one.
Oh, China. Duh,
Yeah, there you
China.
go.
But low
Yeah,
key, Japan, I feel like
a little over the UK,
I could see that. I could, yeah. I could
but
see
I
it
would
being
go the four
Japan.
you said, just like worldwide. I guess throughout all of time, it is those four.
Yeah, I mean, when you think worldwide, where does like Italy with the whole Roman Empire kind of fall into
Right,
that, Like, because you wouldn't think it, but I mean, if you think all time, you know.
right. Well, were they even called Italy? I don't know. Like
No, but it like
that's before the country technically was formed,
England
right?
wasn't always England, I don't think, right? England also
They've
is
been
like
like that a while, but
England is also Britain,
well,
which is like
the UK
and
has
then the
like
U well, but
everything.
the UK is not just England, the UK is
It's like Northern Ireland and Wales and
that's what I'm
Scotland,
saying.
all
So it's
that
not
shit.
even like a country to say
Yeah,
the UK. So it's almost like I think it's Japan now. Like I think in 2025 because I
that
think
is a good
Japan
point.
has such a big cultural grasp and a big technological grasp innovation wise. So I think it's the United States, Russia, China and Japan. And I think England and Australia are kind of like hanging around the next tier
Last one because it's
and
easy.
Canada.
It is easy. Uh, United States top four.
New York, California, Texas, and I guess Florida.
It's always an I guess Florida though. It's always yeah.
I guess.
Like if I
I
have
mean,
to.
by size, Alaska, but like,
Yeah, no, Alaska's really important.
in terms of size, but like, no, I guess Florida. Hate to say it. I mean,
Yeah,
I picked Miami as one of my four major cities, right?
but
So,
that was a good question. Those cities.
all right. So this is a film podcast.
Yeah,
Um, and we can talk about film if anyone wants to today.
if they feel
Uh,
like it.
you know what? That's what it is about August. This is just that time of year where there's not really a lot going on in film and television right now. The only thing really going on is that you were right about this, by the way, which of course this made sense because it's the same with the Oscars. The final round of Emmy voting opened up. So we are getting closer to finding out the results of all of our and your at home favorite shows from the past year and the results of who's going to win what. And that, it's no Oscars, but that's still pretty exciting, I would say. So that's like the only thing kind of going on around now. Otherwise, it's like,
That's it.
well, go to fucking Bermuda, I guess, or talk about fucking North American United States cities and states and shit because what else is going on?
What else are you gonna do?
Well, we can play some games. That's what we can do.
Love it.
So last week we kind of workshopped this new game that we didn't have a name for because when we filmed last week's episode, it was Saturday. We didn't have the box office numbers for the weekend. They weren't out yet, obviously, because it was Saturday. So we had to work around that. We kind of workshopped it because we think it's really a cool idea. I'm going to throw another one out here for Jack this week and see if my co-host here can guess what this is. So this new segment is called Fill in the Box.
I sniped it last week.
You did. I tried to come up with one. You know what it is? You are not as rounded in terms of your film viewing history, is I guess a kind way of putting it, like me. And so it's hard to find ones where it's like, okay, yeah, there can be a couple where you don't know them, but it has to be enough that you can get it,
Yeah,
you
more of a
know. And so
casual watcher, you know.
yeah, yeah. When you gave Get Out a 7 out of 10, that was pretty clear. So
See, if I gave my
um,
letterbox to somebody, they would look at that and be like, "What the fuck?"
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, sneak peek. But anyway, so I am going to throw out some more box office stats from a certain time and see if you can get it.
Okay.
All right. So these are the box office numbers from Redacted. In fifth place, finishing in its fourth weekend of release, making over $7 million. This was a 25.4% drop from its prior weekend. A movie called The Italian Job.
Heard of that one?
In fourth place, making $9.8 million in its fifth weekend of release, a 31.1% drop. Bruce Almighty.
Love that movie.
In third place, making just shy of $11.1 million in its third weekend of release. This was a 40.6% drop from its prior weekend, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Mm.
In second, making $21.1 million in its fourth weekend, only a 25.5% drop. So it was holding strong. Finding Nemo.
Okay.
And in first place, making $62 million in its opening weekend, Hulk.
Hulk,
Hulk.
not the Incredible Hulk.
No, just Hulk.
Okay. This. Okay. Wait. So
I'll repeat anything you need me to.
I
Uh,
know what the year is because of Hulk, but so I was thinking. I heard Too Fast, Too Furious, and I was like, well, first I heard Bruce Almighty, and I was like, okay, this is like 2008, 2009. And then I heard Too Fast, Too Furious, and I was like, okay, maybe 2006, 2007, because I think that was a little earlier. And then I heard Finding Nemo. And I was like, yeah, that could be like 2006, 2007. And then you said Hulk, which was directed by Ang Lee and came out in 2003. When the fuck did Finding Nemo come out? I thought that came out way late. Because, okay, Monsters Inc. was 2000. Wait, what the hell? Incredibles was 2005. Monsters Inc. was 2004 or 2002? I'm going 2003. Let
Final
me give you a
answer?
month. Let me give you a week. Let me give you a weekend. This is the second month of May,
The
or
second
second
month of May.
second weekend of May 2003.
Second weekend of May, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Right year, wrong month, wrong weekend.
How close am I? Am
Do
I
you
1 month
wanna
off?
do you wanna take another stab at a guess before I say anything?
Yeah.
Or
Uh, third, no, first weekend of July.
no, but much closer.
What is it?
It is June 20th to the 22nd. So like the third weekend of June, probably. Actually, let me go back. It was the third weekend of June
So that's 2003. Wait,
in
so Finding Nemo
2003.
came out in 2003?
Yeah, and The Incredibles did not come out in 2005. 2005 was one of the only years Pixar didn't release a movie, I'm pretty sure. The Incredibles came out in 2004. Monsters Inc. came out in 2001.
Damn, my years are all off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's older than you think. We're
It
old. We're
is older than I think.
unk, unk status. Or as
Wait.
we were saying, as we were calling. We just had my fantasy football draft
Uh-huh.
last night, and as we were calling one of the people in our league, their team is the Unk Function. That's us right now.
This
We're
is the function.
this is the Unk Function right here.
Yeah, dude. I really was the only I for some reason I just know when like superhero movies come out because like that's my shit.
I
I'm
figured that I thought you would know Finding Nemo. I thought I knew Hulk, but I also thought Finding Nemo would be the other giveaway. So I'm
I
surprised that
thought I did.
you didn't
I really thought it
really
was like
know that one.
2006. Was
Yeah.
2006 Cars?
2006 I think was Cars, yeah.
Okay, because I think 2009 was Up.
2007 was Ratatouille, 2008 was Wall-E, I think.
2009 is Up.
Those might be swapped, but I'm pretty sure that was it.
It's so weird how like I've never even seen that
Yeah.
Hulk movie. It's so weird how your brain just like remembers one certain fact. Like the fact that I know it's called Ang Lee's Hulk 2003. Like that's what
Yeah, yeah.
people on the internet call it.
Well, I didn't want to say Ang Lee. I was trying to like hold
I
back. I
know.
was just trying to be like Hulk,
That's what
Hulk.
it's
Like
called, Hulk.
you get there, yeah. And that's what the box office list record has it as is just Hulk. So that's what I
Yeah.
said.
That's fun.
Yeah. So all right, this is fun, and I mean, I'm always open to you throwing it back at me, but
Yeah, I
I
would.
do enjoy throwing them at you as well. So that is fill in the box, and Jack did fill in the box,
I
sort
did.
of, but
I'm
he got
2
close enough. He's
2
pretty
for 0.
good. He's pretty good at it. Speaking of box office numbers, I just love them so much. They're fun. I enjoy them, and that's why we named this the Box Office Dynasty. And
That's
we're going
right.
to talk about some recent box office numbers from the weekend of August 15th through the 17th, not 2003, but 2025. So we talk in this episode, it's kind of slow this week, whatever, and we're feeling that in the box office. In fifth place in its third weekend of release, a 29% drop, so not too bad. It's a family film, $7.5 million, The Bad Guys 2. Um, at this point, that is maintaining a spot over Superman. And Superman has been out for 6 weeks now, so not terribly surprising. And The Bad Guys 2 is good to take kids to, and that sells extra tickets. So not too surprising, maybe a
Yeah.
little, but it's in the top 5 still, so good for DreamWorks, I would say. In fourth place, making $9 million in its fourth weekend of release, 42.8% drop, is the Fantastic Four First Steps. That brings its worldwide total now to $469.4 million. That, I mean, it's obviously making money back. It's going to start to turn into the green. It'll probably chug out around to like some 500 so million dollars, probably 550-ish million dollars. But like,
That's rough,
that's
man.
got to be kind of a disappointment for Marvel's first family, right?
Do you remember like 6 months ago when we had that conversation about like which one of these movies is going to make $1 billion?
I know. I mean, I guess the lesson we should learn here is that it is not easy, and that we should learn health. Fuck that. The lesson movie studios should learn here is that movies are very it's going to be very difficult to make $1 billion moving forward. Like
Uh-huh.
plain and simple. Like, I mean, Lilo and Stitch did it, but that is Lilo and Stitch, and it barely got there. And a bunch of movies that we expected to get there kind of trailed out towards the
I
end, like Minecraft and things
I
like
think
that.
Jurassic World Rebirth hit it, didn't it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I saw something online about that. I don't know if it was
Nope,
true.
828.8 million.
Ooh,
So even
damn.
that
I
one
thought I
is
saw that. It did.
probably going to lose steam and be the first Jurassic movie to not make $1 billion, like you said. So this is very telling. We're learning a lot this year, I
I
feel like,
thought
about
Superman.
where the industry is. I thought Superman could do it too. Superman is its worldwide is at just shy of $595 million. So it might not even be, I don't even know if that beats Man of Steel or whatever the highest Batman vs Superman, whatever the highest Superman one was before. I don't even know if that beats it. So like,
Crazy,
you know,
crazy stuff.
I don't know that that's a reflection on the movies as much as it's a reflection on the movie going
Yeah,
industry,
it's the
just like
audience and
lifestyle right
the
now, and
culture.
the theatrical, the state of the theatrical industry.
Yeah,
But it is in terms of Fantastic Four, I would say not great for Marvel, just where they want to be at in terms of the IP that they're putting out. I mean, Thunderbolts was a really good movie and a disappointment, and this is a really good movie and another disappointment. It's a good result, I guess, in a general blanket sense, but not a positive one for Marvel, whose expectations should be much higher for a movie like this. So, in third place, in its first weekend of release, making $9.2 million, Nobody 2. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about this in a bit. There wasn't a lot of marketing for it. The first movie wasn't largely popular, so this is a domestic number at that. Its opening global worldwide was 14.2. So I mean, okay, like not really. It's
Mm,
whatever.
it's there.
Um yeah, that's the sequel to that first one, but it's just, nope, nobody knew about it, huh? So anyway, in second place, in its second weekend of release, a negative 50% drop from its first weekend, Freakier Friday, pulling in 14.2 million more dollars for Disney, the sequel to the old Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is a movie. I have some friends that told me they really enjoyed it. I do love the original from my childhood. I remember Freaky Friday, and I remember it being like just a Disney movie I enjoyed. And this is probably one I'm gonna catch on Disney Plus, though.
Have you seen the ad for it with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, I saw that. Is that real?
Yes, dude. It's a literal ad where Jamie Lee Curtis has her giant, big old naturals in front of the screen. And she's
You
like
know
half
what?
her thing, her strap is off. Like, what is happening, bro?
Anyway, she's not doing that for the bear. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, dude.
Any way to sell tickets. I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm
She's
not
like,
even
you
gonna.
guys
I'm not
go to
even.
this
I'm
movie,
not
whether
even
you
gonna
like it or
comment
not.
on it. My Friday's getting real freaky, I guess. I don't know. And then in first place in its second weekend of release, uh, that's a negative 43.8% drop from its first weekend, which isn't terrible for an original horror. Weapons made $24.4 million. Its opening weekend, just because we didn't get to look at that last week, for this movie, Weapons opened to 45 and or no, excuse me, $43.5 million domestically. That's pretty good. I think Weapons
That's
is
cool.
sitting at a pretty good spot for itself in terms of its worldwide total as well. It's already at almost $150 million in 2 weeks. It's an original horror film. All right. I mean, its expectations should be very different than that of Marvel or Superman, backed by these big studio budgets. And so, I mean, obviously we want to see this continue further. Hopefully it doesn't have any drastic drops, but this is proof that people are enjoying, and especially if you look at Sinners and even other stuff this year like Bring Her Back and just some other original horror that's come out, Final Destination. Yeah, it's part of the franchise but an original franchise. Like,
Uh-huh.
I just think that people are appreciating original horror more and the stories that they're being told. And I think there's more quality, because I think 10 years ago, horror and original horror was really frowned upon as this tacky genre, and the people in the industry working on it weren't doing a great job. And I feel like maybe there was truth to that, to the extent, I don't know if it was that extreme, but definitely in the last 10 years, I think there's been this drastic improvement in the storytelling and the elements that can come in the horror genre. Like, people talk about Weapons. Last episode, I talked about how there's a comedic element to Weapons, and people are like, "Oh, that means it's not scary." Or not that it's not scary. They say it makes it not a horror movie. It's still a horror movie. It's still terrifying at times, and the stuff going on, and it's frightening to think about and to see, witness. But horror movies, like any other kind of genre, can be multiple genres. They can have layers to it. It doesn't have to just be this one lane. And so
Yeah,
I think that gets lost.
I like a good horror comedy.
Yeah.
I think that's a crazy duo, and
Have
I
you ever
love it.
seen The Cabin in the Woods?
I've seen
It's
parts
a
of
great
it.
movie. That's a
I've seen
great
parts of it.
movie.
I saw The Monkey this
I
year that
mean,
came out. That was a horror
yeah.
comedy. Speaking of weapons, real quick. So, before we move on past the box office numbers, have you heard about like the original cast of that movie?
Yeah, that they
Yeah.
were all entirely different.
How would that movie? I mean, Pedro Pascal instead of
That's
Josh
why I was talking
Brolin.
about last week about Pedro Pascal, how funny it would have been. But even then, if
Oh,
Julia
you did
Garner,
talk about that.
well, just the Pedro Pascal part, I didn't talk about the others, but
But
yeah, I did.
did I ask you how like the movie would have been different? Like, would you have liked Pedro in that role or?
No, I think the movie is better for the cast that it had. And it's funny because only one person made it through from the original
Yeah.
cast, which was Austin Abrams, who played James.
I know him from The Walking Dead.
Really?
Uh, yeah, he's. Have you ever seen The Walking Dead?
I mean, I've seen it, but not like fully through. There's way too much of that world, and I just don't care.
He's in
Sorry.
like seasons 5 and 6, and in season 6, this is spoilers for The Walking Dead. This is like 10 years ago at this point. Um, he like loses his fucking mind, and his mom is like dating the main guy Rick, and he takes his mom's gun in a whole they're in a whole crowd of zombies, and they're all got blood all over them to try and disguise themselves so the zombies can't smell them. He takes his mom's gun and aims it at Rick because he's like banging his mom, and he aims it at Rick and he's like fuck you Rick, and so this character comes up behind him and just stabs him. He's like a kid at this point. This is like 10 years ago. He's like 18 or 17 or something. Just fucking stabs him through the chest, and he ends up shooting Rick's son Carl right in the face. It's crazy, dude.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
shoots his
fucking.
eye out like fucking Red Ryder BB
That's
gun.
yeah, I know. You shoot your eye out, kid. That's
And dude,
fucking crazy.
but that's what I know him from. So I saw him in the trailer for Weapons. I was like, this is a perfect role for this guy because he looks like a crazy character. And
He
in this
was he
one,
was great. He was one of the best parts of the movie at
and in,
times.
in The Walking Dead, he's like a regular kid, and then he loses his mind because his dad beats the shit out of his mom, and Rick kills his dad, and all this crazy shit, and then he fucking dies and shoots someone else in the face. Like he seems like a great actor, so I'm excited
And
to
he's
see that.
supposed to be teaming up with Zach Krieger again for his next project, his Resident Evil adaptation that he's
That's
coming out
cool,
with.
bro. That's
So
he
he's
deserves some
going.
big roles.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see them. Glad that he was able to stick through all the strikes and everything, and the pandemic and whatever, and be a part
Uh,
of the movie because he was a great part of it. And the last thing I want to say about Weapons, and this will involve a bit of Superman too, with the box office numbers before we move on, is that Warner Bros has, to their credit, actually turned the ship around a little bit financially in the last 6 months or so. They have become the first studio in history to have 6 consecutive films earn $40 million or more in their opening weekends. And I'm going to go through the 6 real quick. And the crazy thing is they're all different kinds of movies. And what
it's
we
cool.
think of the movies or not as one thing, but the fact that they're different kinds of movies is a credit to what they're doing lately. It was Minecraft, which is obviously an IP adaptation. It made 162.8 million opening weekend. The next is Sinners, 48 million opening weekend, an original horror film. Then Final Destination Bloodlines, a sequel film, $51.6 million. F1, another original, $57 million. Superman, a studio remake, $125 million. Weapons, another original film, $42.5 million. Half of them are original films. So
It's cool. It's cool
it's
variety.
it's a cool variety that Warner Bros is coming out and able to have this success. And even though, like, it's interesting to compare that to what we're saying with the $1 billion, I think, just to kind of like bookend this, because films are having hot starts, and especially for them, and then they're cooling off. And it's a testament to both how much people are interested but lose attention or interest rather quickly on what's the next big thing, even in a month right now where there isn't a whole lot of big stuff coming out.
I do want to I don't want to get into this whole conversation again because we talked about it last week, but I'm just gonna say that I think streaming has a big thing to do with it. Is that
For sure.
a month after a movie comes out, people are like, "Well, it's already been a month. I'll just wait till it's on streaming." Because shit comes out now in 3 months on
I
streaming.
mean, Superman became digital like 40 days after it came out, which I
Yeah,
think is ridiculous because you used to have to like wait months
and
for
people could
for
pirate it
video on
now.
demand.
Yeah, people can
I
pirate
mean,
that
they
now.
were able to
So
they were able to pirate it off cam rips after a couple days, but even
no, I know, but
HD.
they could pirate good quality now.
Yeah, I know, and it's just a shame in my opinion because like it should be continuing throughout to be a big blockbuster hit throughout the whole summer,
No,
and
yeah, I
I
know.
I, I just feel
It's
like
just not like that anymore.
You know what I mean? Like, hell, I'd go see Superman in theaters again, the same way that if Sinners came out in theaters again, I'd go see it again.
Yeah, dude, I would
So I
love to see
really
Sinners again
would.
in theater. Let's get a re-release.
Come on, I'm let this be the one of many pitches for a re-release of Sinners already. People will go see that and eat it up. So anyway, that's just the situation around the box office numbers this past weekend. And it's also interesting because we're talking about things coming out, and right before I talk about Nobody 2, so that's the box office numbers. Um Netflix announced that they are releasing Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein October 17th in select theaters before it hits streaming November 7th. So this kind of is relevant. This was something I wanted to get on the pod, and this is a good place for me to get this in real quick since we're talking about this.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's like this new Denzel Washington film out right now called Highest to Lowest. It's
Spike Lee.
directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington and ASAP Rocky and Ice Spice. And it's in select theaters. It's nowhere around me, so it's probably nowhere around you either. You probably got to go to New York City or Chicago or LA, like the major
Denzel and
cities.
Ice
Dude, this
Spice,
whole
bro.
episode makes sense. Like the North American major cities we were talking about, just to see that movie.
Mm.
Why? Before it goes to Apple TV. I think that's where it's going. It's like, I want to see that in theaters. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be, but it's Spike Lee. I want to see this in theaters, you know?
So
And
is
I just,
Guillermo del Toro's, is that in
so it
select
says
theaters or
select
all
theaters.
theaters?
It says select theaters, but
That's fucking annoying.
I don't know like how select that is. Cause let me ask you real quick. Have you ever seen a Netflix movie in theaters?
No.
I've seen one.
Glass Onion.
Glass Onion. I got to
Yeah,
see it because
that's,
it
I didn't see
had
that in
it had
theaters.
a limited release. It was also select theaters, but it somehow had one by me for 1 week. It was literally one fucking week. And this is Frankenstein. It's Guillermo del Toro, who is a horror thriller icon, doing a Frankenstein remake in October, the month of Halloween, and you're going to give it 1 week of release. This is going to be really relevant to talk about a little bit when we talk about the Duffer Brothers, because I hope it's going to be in theaters around me, and I hope you, because this is the type. If you've seen the trailer, we talked about it on the pod. It looks like a movie worth seeing on the big screen, not
Yeah,
on
dude.
fucking Netflix. Ted Sarandos is ruining the theatrical culture.
I want to see this shit in IMAX.
Yeah, me too, dude. Holy shit. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. We'll see what happens there. A movie that is already out in theaters that we didn't have to see, or at least I didn't have to see on streaming, but you probably could wait for streaming. But I don't want to promote that culture. Go out to see it in the theater
How
anyway,
dare
if you
you?
have time. I mean, if you don't have time, I'm saying it's not like a must see. But if you do
Yeah.
have time, go see it, which is Nobody 2, the action film starring Bob Odenkirk. So I'll give a rating and a review. I'm not even going to give spoilers. I don't even. Probably not even going to talk about this for very long. I don't have much to say. We saw the first one together. I'm pretty
We
sure.
did, yeah.
Yeah. Which I barely remember at this point as well. Um. So, but I gave Nobody 2 6 Plummerville trailers or commercials out of 10, maybe like 6.3 Plummerville commercials out of 10.
Okay.
Um,
Better or worse than the first one?
Worse as far as I can recount.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the first one I remember is that it just was like weird in terms of introducing the plot, the whole thing with the CIA and whatever that he was like supposedly involved in and had his like secret second life.
I
And
never bought it.
I just remember it being like, you didn't buy it because of the fact that I was confused. Same reason. It's just being loose and bad writing. It didn't make sense. It was very like, I'm assuming, I guess, for you, but that's part of it at least.
Well, I didn't know if it was because it was Bob Odenkirk or it was the action or maybe it was the writing, but like you see John Wick and you're like, I could buy that this guy's a retired, whatever. You see whatever movies like that shit that there's always so many movies where it's like retired agent, retired secret agent gets called back into the field, a retired assassin, retired hitman, whatever. I usually buy it, but then I see Nobody. I'm like, this guy does not look or act or talk like he was a
I
fucking
mean,
world class hitman or whatever he was.
you're right, but I suppose that's the point. He's supposed to look like
He is a nobody,
he's the
I guess.
nobody, so you
But even when
don't
he's fighting people, I'm
suspect
like, what
him.
the fuck is this? Like,
I get it. I mean, it's funny, and I find a sense of humor in seeing Bob Odenkirk kick some ass.
it's silly.
It's silly, it's fun, but I just even this one, like the whole premise of the movie is that he takes his family on vacation to this little like rundown town called Plummerville, and it's like the only vacation he ever went on with his dad as a kid. And it turns out that it's like a setup town basically, like the whole thing, the water park that runs the town, the whole thing is like run by a crime syndicate that like has the fucking police in their pockets, and the leader of the crime syndicate is played by Sharon Stone of all people.
Okay.
um and it was like okay, weird. There's like a weird scene where she's like dancing at a weird time when she finds out her whole like thing is like maybe gonna like fall apart. What doesn't happen, I won't spoil. I guess it doesn't fucking matter.
How
But
did they like? Is this just all a coincidence that they're taking over this town as and he wants to vacation there, or did
yeah,
they
it
like
is.
plan it?
No, so he, I'll tell you like how he starts to get involved with them. He
Because I hate that.
goes, I'll tell you how he starts to get involved with them. He takes them to this town, and the first instance he has with the sheriff, who's played by Tom Hanks' son, Colin, who people might know him from season 1 of Fargo. um anyway, he is like at this restaurant, and Bob Odenkirk's like staring off in the distance reminiscing about an old memory, and he's like accidentally staring at the sheriff, and the sheriff's like a piece of shit, so he's like, what the fuck, like, why are you looking at me, like you causing trouble? He's like, no, I'm just like staring off, sorry.
I can
And
picture him
then,
saying that exactly like that too.
like, I mean, it's pretty
He's
much
like,
how it goes.
no.
Yeah, yeah. So then they continue on with their vacation. Um, and then they're at an arcade, and it is basically all coincidence how
That's
this
so
goes down.
dumb, dude.
So his son, like, there is the only thing that they're trying to like do writing wise that to make any sense is like his son is like being violent because of him, because he sees how it works for him, and he's trying to teach him like not to be like him. That's the only thing that like kind of works in the movie,
Okay.
in my opinion, in terms of plot. Because the rest of it sure as fuck didn't. um but so there's like a bunch of bullies that come up and start like, so basically he sees a bunch of girls like staring at him and smiling, and the son, Bob Odenkirk's son, and he gives them some arcade tickets, and that's it, and he like walks away, like nothing else happens. And then it turns out like the girl that he gave the tickets to had a boyfriend, so the boyfriend comes up and is like, what the fuck, so it's like picking on him, and he's like trying to be like fuck off. And then the kid takes his little sister's like toy that he just won for her and rips it in half. So the brother starts like beating on him, and he breaks his arm. And then the like security guards get involved, and there's a whole big fight, because then obviously Bob Odenkirk's character Hutch gets involved, and there's a whole big fight. Turns out the bully that he broke the arm is a star pitcher of like the town baseball team, and his dad is the guy who runs the water park and is also a drug pusher for
Okay.
the crime syndicate. So it's just like, okay, now you got to deal with this. And so they send like cops to go, deal with Bob Odenkirk, and he tries to explain it. And then so the drug pusher dad is like, all right, just drop it. Don't look for trouble. We're trying to like keep our heads down and keep our
Right.
business. And the cops, the Colin Hanks character, is like, very overambitious. He's like, no, I'm not gonna let it go. So he sends guys after him, and he beats the shit out of these guys. He sends a bunch of like not guys that aren't in uniform. So they're just like in plain clothes, and he sends them after him. Except for one cop in uniform, and he beats him up on a duck boat. And they're like, this guy's not a nobody, so they think he's like sent after it. So that's like how it fucking goes down, and it's just like, all right, I guess. Meanwhile, the whole time he's like, I'm just trying to be on vacation with my kids. The whole time he's like, I'm just on vacation with my family. And it's
That
just like,
sounds stupid, but
okay.
it actually sounds really fun.
It was a fun
Because the
movie.
first one was fun.
I didn't rate it a 1 out of 10, obviously. It was a fun movie. It's
Yeah.
like my favorite parts of these movies are Christopher Lloyd because I love him, and I'm glad that in 2025 Christopher Lloyd is still making fun projects and having a good time and being in movies.
Dude, the
He's an
fact that he was
icon.
only like 40 in Back to the Future, because we
Yeah,
all
I
when we
know.
watched that when we were younger, we all thought he was like 80.
I know. I know. It's the gray hair. It's
It
like
was
the
the hair. It
silver
was
gray hair. It
100%
was
the hair.
100% the hair. But no, I love that he's still around. Not enough of him in this one, in my opinion. Like, could have used more of him, but they still made it up in the end with him having his moment, and it's so much fun. Like, I was just sitting in the theater having a blast. So, like, don't get me wrong, this is a forgettable movie, but like, it was a fun time. And especially if you saw the first one, there's no reason to not see it. It's short, it's a breezy film. There's no reason to not check it out one night, have some fun, maybe with a
Right.
couple friends, and see the movie. It would make for a fun outing with friends or in the
That's
theater.
those kind of movies. You can shit on them all day long, but at the end of the day, you enjoy watching it. Like when I watched a couple weeks ago, I was randomly on Amazon Prime. I watched Heads of State that I was telling you about. Idris Elba, John
Yeah.
Cena. It was so stupid, but it was like two charismatic, fun actors beating the shit out of people and making jokes. And I was like, this is a good time. Like, even though it's bad, it's good.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, it's like, is this the kind of movie at the end of the year we're gonna have in our top 10 of the year? No, probably not. But
Might beat out
it's
Sinners.
still, yeah, I don't know. It's neck
Might
and
be
neck.
number one.
It's right there. Sinners, Nobody Two. Um, but ultimately, it's still a movie that, like, am I glad it came out? I guess, these kinds of movies are going to exist. And instead of being like, no, why wasn't this? Well, instead of having my expectations at a 10 out of 10, like, why isn't this some remarkable filmmaking achievement? I know it is exactly what I thought it is. I think I'm rating it exactly what I should be rating this kind of a movie, but I enjoyed it. 6 out of 10 is good. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's good.
No,
That's
I'll
what
take it.
Nobody Two is. And that's kind of what I expected out of it. I love Bob Odenkirk. I love Saul Goodman, and I love Christopher Lloyd. I love some Doc Brown, and seeing them just, obviously he does it in the first movie, he does it again here, the rotating kind of gun
Oh,
where it's like shooting out
the Gatling gun or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, at
So
one
funny.
point he has like a fucking bomb, and Christopher Lloyd just he goes ace in the hole, and he goes, it's so
Dude,
good.
he's in the most random stuff nowadays. Like, remember when he showed up in The Mandalorian?
I know that was so funny,
And
and
he was
then
the
he
bad guy in
he
the
ended up
episode?
being the bad guy. I
So
loved it.
funny,
I'm
dude.
That's what I'm saying. He's just at a point where he's just having fun with his career, and
I
I
know, like,
love
he will
that.
always be
You
Doc
have to respect
Brown
that.
to everybody, but, like, he can do whatever he wants. And
I mean,
he's,
doesn't that come with just like being an iconic character? We always were gonna think of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, right? It's the same with
I
Christopher
know,
Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. They're
it's
Marty
Marty McFly.
McFly and Doc Brown. Like, no matter what, those are and that's why I don't think you could ever remake those movies, because it's not like Iron Man where it's an IP that you restart over and over. Back to the Future is just a product of its time and something that needs to be pristinely left alone in terms of that medium of movies.
Hey, man. Well, they're trying to remake Indiana Jones, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully by not happening, but that to them, to, Disney and Lucasfilm, it's too big of an IP for them to just leave alone. It's the same reason they keep recycling the Jurassic movies. They're not going to leave it alone because it's too valuable. They get too much out of it.
You're right. Yeah, also, that's funny because, like, you can't do. This is off topic. We're getting off topic now from our your Nobody 2 review. I just want to quickly say, you can't do movies like if you're remaking something like Jurassic World. They kind of built it in a way that it's not like a reboot. It's just like continuing a story just with other characters. But you can't do Indiana Jones without completely casting a new person as Indiana
Right,
Jones.
because unlike Jurassic World, where the franchise is built around dinosaurs and the element of the human characters can change, Indiana Jones is a franchise built around a person.
And
And
Back to the
we
Future is also, even though the whole premise is time travel, you can't do it without Marty McFly. Maybe you can do it without, honestly, you probably could do it without Marty McFly, but you can't do it without Doc Brown. If that
But
might be questionable.
why would you? Let's say in the and to any studios listening, this is the purest hypothetical that no one, and I mean no one, wants to see. So don't bother. Um, if they did reboot Back to the Future, why wouldn't Marty McFly be a part of it? They destroy the DeLorean in the third movie, and so they can't, you know, they can't continue the story from where it leaves off.
But
So they would need to redo it.
so what do you think of that statement though? Do you agree or disagree that you can't do it without Doc Brown, but you can do it without Marty McFly?
No, I don't think you can do Back to the Future without either of them.
I think you can. I think you can have a new character who stumbles across some sort of, leftovers of Doc Brown's technology, and then Doc Brown gets pulled back in, and he's like, "This is how it works. This is how you do it." And it's like he's
That's
mentoring this
awful,
new.
though.
But I think you
That's
can
what
do
they
it.
would try to pitch. But just
But
because you
you
can
can't
do it doesn't.
you can't have Marty McFly recast and Doc Brown not there because he's the time travel creator.
Well, if they try to say Doc Brown's dead,
He's dead, and like Doc Brown's son can create time travel for the new generation of Marty McFly.
I don't know, some kind, because he has Clara, he has the sons at the end.
Who has sons?
Doc Brown has kids at the end. He has a family. He has the dog.
Oh, I don't remember.
He has Einstein,
know
Clara,
Einstein.
and the kids.
I don't remember that.
Or who's the dog? Well, it's a different dog. It's the same dog with a different name. It's a different scientist. I forget. I think it's Einstein. Who's the first one? Edison or something, maybe. I don't
thought it
know.
was just Einstein.
No, the dog definitely changes names because it's like a different dog or something.
Because like the timeline has changed.
Yeah, the dog definitely changes names at some point.
Well,
but
all right, let's move on. Let's.
anyway,
Yeah.
but Nobody 2 was fun. I saw it in the theaters. I did go by myself. I was supposed to go with a couple of friends who bailed on me, so I had nobody to see it with. So,
Okay. All right, funny guy.
Yeah, I just had to get that in there. But it was still, for an 89-minute movie, not too shabby. So that's Nobody 2. Go check it out if you have time. There's not a lot coming out right now in the movie theaters. So Nobody 2 is out. Love Bob Odenkirk, Christopher Lloyd. Check it out. But Jack, you got to check out Weapons before you check out Nobody 2.
Hold your horses.
My horses have been held for a couple weeks now.
Hold your horses to the end of the episode, pal.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. All right.
Just move on. Just forget it.
Men in Black wipe my brain.
Neuralizer. That's also exactly what I thought about when I said forget that. That's actually fucking crazy that you just read my mind. I was gonna say neuralized, and then you fucking said it.
That's why we have a podcast together. What can I say?
That's actually wild.
Well, some news while you were off in Bermuda vacationing it up. The
Aruba,
Duffer brothers.
Bahamas,
No. We're not getting back into it because you disrespect the legend Brian Wilson. So revoking that.
Needed a better name.
Whoa. Not all of us can be graced with your so-called amazing, beautiful name.
If his name was something cool like Ozzy Osbourne, I'd know him. If his name was something cool,
right, Ozzy Osbourne,
like Ringo Starr, I would know who his name was.
Sick name. Yeah, I'll give you that. Anyway, a name people know as well, the Duffer brothers. They are known for being the creators and the showrunners behind Stranger Things, the flagship show on Netflix, with season 5, the final season, coming out this November and December. They have announced that they will be leaving Netflix to sign a new deal, I believe, with Paramount. Let me pull it back up. Here it is. Yes, they're going to Paramount to make movies and TV shows with them. I don't know the details of the deal, but they said that, or it was reported at least, that the ability to release their movies in theaters was the deal breaker between staying with Netflix and leaving for Paramount. So I wanted to talk about this for a minute because we've talked a bit about Stranger Things being the flagship show and Netflix needing to find something. And we've also talked about streaming as a model and the theatrical experience. We've talked about a lot of this on this podcast. So this is kind of pertinent because we've seen other, filmmakers depart Netflix for other studios for similar reasons. Mike Flanagan left, went to Amazon. We see the Duffer brothers now leaving; they're going to Paramount. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on, you know, both what this means, what it, about Netflix, and also what maybe on the flip side, like what you want to see them do with Paramount, being this whole theatrical model.
So, just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, the Duffer brothers are leaving Netflix to work with Paramount because Netflix won't let them release movies in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they also got like a really good deal. I don't know the details of it. I suppose I could try and find them real quick.
Well,
Um,
I can see, like, I'm not surprised. I feel like Netflix, out of all the movie studios, is kind of that like annoying little brother, that like
it's
won't
funny
stop.
to call them the little brother.
They just won't stop pestering you, or they're the big brother that's like a little man. I just feel like they'd be so annoying to work with. I don't know why. I just feel like they try to take over like creatively, and they push all these rules on you, and they're like, I'm in charge. But I feel like other studios might give a little more freedom to the creators of the project. So I'm not surprised that many creators are leaving Netflix for somebody else.
Right. I think Ted Sarandos, who is the CEO of Netflix, he has this really stubborn approach where he just absolutely is buying into the fact that he thinks people prefer to just stay home all the time and watch movies. And I know we sit and we talk about theater being, making not $1 billion anymore or whatever, things like that, when movies come out. But like, it still feels like people, at least in the social circles that I see, and I know a lot of people in the film community that we share, they would much rather go and have that experience in a movie theater, in a cinema. That's what we all crave for because it gives you the best. I'm a firm believer of this, that there is no TV or sound system that you can put in your home unless you get an actual home theater that will match what you can get if you go see a movie in a movie theater. There's just nothing. You can try and convince, and I get the whole thing of being able to pause and whatever, but I'm sorry, I don't buy into the fact that movies should just be straight to streaming. And if people do prefer to see them on streaming, that's fine. But you should put it in theaters for those that want to get that experience. Just because you're a studio that revolves around streaming. I mean, like Netflix is a streaming service, but what makes them any different than any other movie studio at this point? Why can't they put their movies in theaters the same as a Warner Bros. Who then puts it on HBO, or Paramount who puts it on Paramount Plus, or Universal who'll put it on Peacock? Like, why Apple put on Apple TV? They'll put it in theaters. Why can't Netflix do that? What makes it different just because they started as a streaming service?
Right, like look what the Duffer brothers can make with Stranger Things. Imagine a movie like that with that kind of production value, that sound design, those visuals, that acting in theaters. Like that's what people want. Like imagine I want to watch the Stranger Things series finale in theaters.
It would be
I'm not
so
s-
insane.
I'm not saying they should put their TV shows in theaters. I'm just saying something of that caliber would be awesome to see in theaters. And it makes me wonder if it's because the Netflix contract that they have people when they sign up the terms and conditions, they promise their customers, you will get this, you'll watch it at home, you'll have almost instant releases for TV shows. Obviously not everything that comes out at once anymore, but there's no weekly releases for Netflix. Maybe they do, 1 week something, the next week something, but still a couple episodes a week or fully out once. And then maybe they promise their viewers that the movies will be instantly at their doorstep, instantly in their homes. And I wonder if they're too scared to backtrack on that. Because it's their contract, they can write whatever they want, but I think they're scared they'll lose viewership from the people who prefer to be at home, from the people that signed up because they like to be at home, for if they changed it to
I think
theaters.
you're mostly right. I just don't think they're scared about it. I think they just genuinely believe that it's the best method of
You're right, they
movie
probably do.
watching.
I
Like,
mean, they're definitely like indoctrinated into this
and
this
I think
cult
it's
belief.
it's it's nuts to me because you see that that's clearly not the case in terms of artists and most audience, in terms of the reflection of what they want. And streaming services struggle to make money and make a profit. And yeah, part of it is because they spend so much money, but because people would I still believe that people would rather go to the movie theaters as long
Uh-huh.
as they can afford to. Like when we look at it, people are like, oh, like I think the numbers are skewed for that reason because people say, oh, they'd rather just watch it at home. But think about Disney Plus. If you have a family of 4 and you want to go see Lilo and Stitch, it's going to cost, and you want to see it on the biggest screen possible because your kids deserve that. Now you're paying 20 something dollars a ticket, so that's going to be like $80 right there. Then if you want to get them food and snacks and stuff, that's going to cost like another $18 for at least a snack. The drinks are going to cost like $10 for the drinks. You got four.
Yeah,
That
it's like
you're
120
spending over
bucks.
$100 to go to the movie theater. That's absurd.
Mhm.
That should be downright illegal, in my opinion. And
That's why
so
AMC A list exists, and everyone watching this should take advantage of it.
exactly. But even if you don't have A list or the Regal Unlimited that I know exists for people who go to Regal cinemas or whatever third party, whatever one exists, I don't know. Like even if you don't have that, it should be affordable to go to the movie theater
100%.
and see a movie with your family without spending 100 or more dollars. You shouldn't be spending triple digit dollars just to go to the movies and get some popcorn and drinks.
But are theaters insanely expensive because theaters are dying and they need the money to survive, or are they just selfish?
Theaters are dying because they're insanely expensive, I think. Because
So that's
studios take more and more money, theaters struggle to survive. People can't afford the prices of admission anymore because the theaters still have to take a certain cut, so the movies have to raise their prices of everything, and as everything goes up they just start charging more and more, and
it's the snake eating its own tail.
yeah, pretty much.
It's the studios yeah, it's too expensive to go to the movies, but movies make it more expensive because they can't afford to not. It's insane. Like,
But you know what, Jack? They can afford to not because you don't need to spend $300 million to make a movie. That's why I think these big ballooned up budgets are so bad for movie making because yeah, sometimes it results in some really cool looking shit, some great CGI and visual effects, but what's the result you're left with? I remember Cord Jefferson, who is the writer and director of American Fiction. I don't know if you remember that. It starred Jeffrey Wright. It came out a couple years ago. He won Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars that year. And he went up on stage and he gave this incredible speech about how you can make one $20 million movie, and these figures are just an example, obviously.
uh
One really good $20 million movie or 20 really good $1 million movies. It can be done. American Fiction's budget, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it was a really great, funny comedy that had a very interesting satirical look at our modern day society that won Oscars, that did well. Let's look at it as an example while we're talking about this. American Fiction's budget was $10 million. $10 million is what it costs to make that movie.
I
Its
think another. Oh,
its
sorry.
box office $22.4 million. That's
Another great
pretty
example
good.
is Godzilla -1.
That is a really good example.
That budget was so low, and that movie, not only was it just spectacular, but it looked great too. And you have so many huge blockbuster movies that look like shit. CGI is rushed. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, some of Superman looked really weird, and like Fantastic Four, weird CGI moments. Like, you have hundreds of millions of dollars, and you can't make this flying car look a little better. But these guys with 15 million can make this giant monster nuclear explosions look cool. Like, it's
It,
wild to me.
it is ridiculous. I mean, and to, kind of circle it back to Netflix, they spent over $300 million on the Electric State, which was a colossal failure. 300 American Fiction was made on $10 million,
Like
and they made
300
the
of
Electric State on $300
oh,
million.
you can make 30
$300
of those
million.
movies, dude.
It was it's actually asinine to think about. And then they complain that they lose all this money. Well, Ted Sarandos is probably sitting in his mansion in his jacuzzi, feeling just fine because he can still pocket enough. Meanwhile, their Netflix bleeds, filmmakers are walking out the door, and Stranger Things is calling it a wrap soon. And with the Duffer brothers only doing a couple of little spin off things through their production company, and then they're leaving. What's next for Netflix? I'm just saying, we talked the last couple of weeks about streaming's future. If I'm Netflix, like, yeah, the ratings are still there, but they, first of all, Netflix's ratings, in my opinion, are always inaccurate because they've admitted that they like count households for one view for a household, so they'll say like 4 people for a view or something. Doesn't even, that's
That makes no
actually
sense.
crazy. You're making it up and you're just pretending that that's your actual viewership. You don't know what the household numbers are. You can only count it as one account. Whatever, Ted. Um, but I just think with Stranger Things calling it a wrap, Squid Game was a critical, bomb for seasons 2 and 3. Wednesday, the jury's out. I haven't gone into it yet. I'm not sure what people are saying about it, but
I
without Stranger
mean,
Things, like what's next? And this is how you're treating you. They, in my opinion, point being the point of all of this, they have to re-engage their approach to what movie making is all about and what people want.
all their most popular shows are either ending or just ended. Like you said, Stranger Things, Outer Banks, last season's coming out next year. I know that's very popular.
Isn't Downton Abbey a Netflix show or like part of Netflix?
I don't know.
Because
Um,
it's that deal that I know Netflix has with the channel. What is it, like Channel 4, Channel 6, whatever that popular thing with BBC is in England. I don't know. I'm an American. But
Downton Abbey's
um,
still on. Is
they're
there like
coming
a
out with a
remake?
grand finale thing in theaters, which
Oh,
I guess maybe means Netflix didn't want. Maybe Netflix didn't do that, but I know that it was on Netflix,
but
so I'm just getting.
well,
But I know
what I'm
keep
saying, yeah,
going.
like you said, Squid Game, you just ended, and again, like bad ending. But that's what I'm saying. All their most
The
popular
Umbrella
shows,
Academy.
The Umbrella Academy ended. Like all their most popular shows are either ending or had just recently ended. They need to come out with
And
something like what is it, the Queen's Gambit or whatever, like ended like 2 years ago or something.
that was only one season.
Oh, that was just limited
That
one.
was a
Okay,
limited series.
but
But
there you
I
go
mean,
though. It's
and
just
not
like they
only
have
are these
no
shows,
continuing.
yeah, not only are these shows ending, but they're doing, most of them are doing so rather unceremoniously.
Oh yeah, you,
You
Squid
know,
Game, Umbrella Academy, all
all shows
terrible
that
endings.
used to be so popular, and not only were the endings considered not great, no one cared about it, and no one really talked about it. Squid Game a little bit, just because it was such heads and tails above anything else at the time of
Right.
its popularity. But like you and the Umbrella Academy, for example, were two very popular shows at one point that by the end of their shows no one gave a shit about. And you, I didn't even finish the Umbrella Academy. I finished, but it was kind of a wash. Probably would have not gotten much attention if the podcast existed at the time. So
Yeah, I didn't finish. You. Do you remember how popular Outer Banks was in like the first season or two?
yeah, and now it was huge during, the early stages of COVID and everything. And now, I mean, like, I'll finish it because I only got one season to go and I've stuck with it this long. But it's like,
But
and
is anyone going to talk about it?
they did kind of capture people a little bit with that big ending of season 4, I think. But it's not going to get, like you said, that kind of overall
No.
conversation. Part of that is Netflix's problem with the binge release too, though, because binge release causes people like all right, yeah, you're giving them the option to watch it how they want it, but and I don't binge it most of the time, but like people binge if they can, and I feel like it's better when you don't give them the option and it's week by week because you're giving them, you know, time to have that conversation. I feel like when something comes out all at once, first of all, you forget things because in the episodes, the distinction of
Yeah,
the episodes because it blends together. But then also the conversation moves on rather quickly. It doesn't carry it on.
you're just done. It's just over.
And I don't know why Netflix is trying to make their own version of that by releasing shows in parts. Just do the weekly release model. It works.
Another Netflix show that had a shitty ending. Remember Ozark?
Yeah, I know. I mean, season 4 was good. It just they didn't land the ending.
No, it's just. But that's what I'm saying. Like people just stopped talking about it. Like it's just gonna after Stranger Things, like Netflix is not gonna have anything to keep them relevant.
Ozark kind of got drowned out by some other more popular shows in general, but you're right, it
Uh,
is that trend of Netflix shows. I just think part of it has to do with Netflix moving away from a tried and true model of TV release. So and for movies as well. So, we were talking about Frankenstein early in the episode. Hopefully Frankenstein gets enough of a limited release that we'll be able to see it in theaters because I know both of us would much rather that than Netflix.
right, and it is definitely a trend with Netflix because like look at Amazon Prime Video. People even now still talk about The Boys. They still talk about Invincible. Um, Reacher's not as popular, but like I still am online seeing people so excited for the next season. But who the fuck's posting about? Oh, Outer Banks season 5, can't wait! It's like, dude, like
Yeah,
it's
you
just
hardly even hear about it, and then it just drops, and then you're like, okay, all right.
exactly. You're like, oh, when Squid Game season 3 came out, it's like, oh shit, this comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought it was coming out way later in the year, and then suddenly it just dropped. I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, all
But
right.
everywhere online is like, yo, where's The Boys season 5? Invincible season 4, everyone's so hyped for it. Like,
We'll have to see. So that's the situation with the Duffer brothers. I'm
uh-huh.
excited to see what they'll do with Paramount as well. I think that they have the ability and the resources now to make some really exciting stuff, and to see it on the big screen I think is gonna be cool because they've never really ventured out from an artistic standpoint real quick too. Like they've never really ventured out of Stranger Things that I've seen before. So
Uh-huh.
with Stranger Things wrapping up and a fresh start for them, it'll be cool to see what else they have in their brains, up their sleeves. So that's the Duffer Brothers. Before this episode ends, why don't we play another game real quick that I have for you, Jack?
Lovely.
We're gonna play the game everyone knows and loves, Versus. So as everyone knows the way this goes, basically there's a category, and I'm gonna give Jack a bunch of options in that category, and he's gonna go through it like a gauntlet, one against the other. He's gonna have to pick the one that he prefers or whatever fits into that situation. So, pal, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I love this
I
game.
think it's a pretty good one today.
Okay, cool.
Today's is a classic category.
Okay.
Which fictional world would you rather live in?
Dude, oh my God, I had this when I was driving home from work today. I was thinking of a versus for you because I was like, oh, maybe if I saw you had it written down on today's schedule, and I was like, oh, maybe like I'll tell him that I have one for him. That way he doesn't have to do a whole episode targeted towards me. What can I think of? That was the first one I thought of, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll save that for another time. That's insane, dude. Okay, sorry.
Damn.
Sorry, sorry,
Well,
sorry.
sorry to steal your thunder.
No, I was gonna steal it from
Uh,
you.
but you can always give me 10 other fictional worlds sometime.
That's true.
I did choose a lot of popular ones, but there's so many that for me you can pick that would be interesting. You can
Okay.
get real creative with it for me, obviously.
Do you have one? I should start asking you this at the beginning of each one. Do you have one that you think is gonna win? Like, don't tell me what it is, but I want to see if you're right by the end.
Not I don't know if I do have one. Like the one I did with you about the different types of potential projects that could be made. I had this one. I'm not 100% sure. It's
Okay.
kind of up in the air. I have one that I think is going to win, but I'm not sure which one is going to last the longest, and I've maybe could be wrong.
Okay. Hit me with
But
it.
I think I know which one will end up winning. I think. Okay, the first one is iconic, classic, have to do it. Star Wars or Marvel? Which universe would you rather live in?
And I'm just randomly placed in the world.
You could be anywhere.
Star Wars.
I'm curious,
I
what's the justification?
Marvel. Odds are I'm not a hero. There's a lot less heroes than there are like in Star Wars. You can be a space pirate. You can probably not won't be a Jedi, but
But I mean,
you.
odds are you wouldn't be that either. Odds are you just be some random person on a planet
But
somewhere.
but
It's a whole galaxy.
everybody on those planets, 90% of them probably have access to space travel, have access to hyperspace, have access to a blaster. You know, it's like,
I don't know, maybe. Some of them do, some of them don't.
but like even Luke on Tatooine, who's like a poor farmer, like he goes next door to the Mos Eisley Cantina, and there's like spaceships and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think
Yeah,
I'd
but
have a,
he's also ends up being Luke Skywalker, and he's being watched, and it's not like he ends up being just some random
but
farmer.
still, like Han is a space smuggler. That's cool. Like,
Yeah, you might end up as one of those people. You might also end up as like a peasant somewhere
Maybe, but
under empirical, like, power.
in Marvel, it's just like
You might end up in the massacre from Andor,
I know,
like,
but in Marvel, there's so many like threats that I probably wouldn't be able to escape because I'm just a regular guy, and they're so much more powerful. But I
Marvel,
think
you might not end up on Earth either, though.
I end up in like on nowhere or something like that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
like why is Marvel like assuming you end up on Earth? You might not.
I'm going Star Wars.
Okay. No,
There's more versatility with it, I think.
I respect it. I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer between those two.
Yeah.
That's why I put it first. All right, Star Wars versus another classic franchise, Harry Potter.
There's not that many wizards in Harry Potter, right?
Well, there are multiple schools. We don't see them necessarily. Hogwarts is just the one in the United Kingdom.
I'm going Star Wars again just because Harry Potter, the statistics, the odds are that I'm a muggle, and that means I probably wouldn't even know that I'm in a different world. Like I wouldn't even I'm not saying I know I'm in a different place, obviously, but like I wouldn't know that wizards exist. So it'd just be like I could be in Harry Potter right now.
That's
We could
true.
be muggles right now.
You also might be a wizard though.
Avada Kedavra. Just fucking
The
murder you
fuck?
on
Yeah,
pod.
that's fucked up. What the fuck? I did say what would happen. I don't know how I feel that this is like the second episode in a row where we've talked about me dying in the middle of a podcast episode. But... All right, so you're going with Star Wars over Harry Potter?
Yes, sir.
All right, Star Wars or the Monsterverse, so Godzilla and Kong's universe.
Dude, that is terrifying. That universe is so scary. They could like they're just sleeping one day and all of a sudden like a giant spider creature rises from the water. I'm going Star Wars, dude.
Dude, is Star Wars gonna sweep the gauntlet? I don't know. Maybe not. I still think another one's gonna win.
Okay.
All right. Star Wars or the Alien universe? Because there is Earth in the Alien universe.
There is Earth.
Now we know.
And there is space travel.
And there is space travel. And I don't know what time you might end up because Alien Earth and like some of the later Alien films, they take place over the course of a couple hundred years. So who knows what time you even get put.
Star Wars has to win it.
Okay.
Because every day, by the way, the Force isn't even real, and people spend every day reaching for the remote with the Force. If the Force existed, I would be doing that every fucking day, just trying to be Force sensitive, dude.
But if you're not, then you're not. Like,
I know, but
like
it'd be fun to try, though.
Yeah, but then if you're not, like the rest of your life, you don't have it.
It'd still be fun.
All right. Star Wars or Stranger Things?
Star Wars, dude. Because most people don't even know that Stranger Things is anything's happening.
That's what I'm saying. So there's not much of a threat to you potentially compared to Star Wars. Well, maybe we'll see in season 5 if that's true or not for the rest of the world. But
I'd rather live in Star Wars than our world right now.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of more danger in Star Wars, I guess. Like,
but there's so much adventure.
Yeah, that's true, but not necessarily for the average person.
Dude, you and the boys are like, yo, you guys want a vacation to Naboo
You're assuming that you'll have your own ship and you could just go, but not everyone can just fly to any planet. They usually have to take public transportation between planets. You're assuming... Yeah, that sounds
like an airplane.
It sounds awful. It sounds awful to have to fly with a bunch of people to between planets.
That's like taking a plane to a different country.
I don't think flying with a bunch of people from one planet to another is the same as flying from a plane from a country to another.
But they could go real fast. It's probably only a couple hours with their hyperspace.
Well, I don't know if they can do hyperspace with all those people all the time.
Maybe. Depends. I don't know, dude. I'm still doing it.
I'm surprised about that one. I would think Stranger Things, you could just live your life, hang out, not worry.
I want to live in a cool fantasy world.
Then at this point, I do think Stranger Things is going to sweep. But
Star Wars
is going to sweep. Because you're definitely not picking it over this next one. Would you rather live in Star Wars or Game of Thrones?
Star Wars, dude. Game of Thrones, I'm dead immediately.
Would you rather live in Star Wars or Mad Max? So it's basically just like desert apocalypse. But I don't know if that's even what it's like outside of Australia. It's never clear because it's so like fantasy based. But you also could be really cool and just ride around the wasteland, like just on adventures, just fucking.
Yeah, but I'm not built for that,
cool
man.
cars. But you're built for Star Wars?
I could be
Built
if I lived on Naboo.
You think you could fight Vader?
If no, but I wouldn't. I'd be smart enough to be like, oh, see you.
Yeah, but you got to deal with that. The Empire. I think you're. Oh, I think you're.
Well, to
you
be fair, you
think
didn't tell me what time period.
That's a good point. That's actually fair.
I'm just
always
guessing it's a random time period.
That's true. I didn't think of time periods. I'm just saying the world, but I don't know. I feel like every period of Star Wars is still pretty dangerous one way or another for different reasons.
Before the Phantom Menace, there was like 10,000 years of like Jedi peace. Like, what if I?
Yeah, but
then?
we don't see that. I feel like we got to assume it's like from eras that we really see a lot of in mainstream media. Come on, that at least is a given.
Either way, bro, I'd fucking take. Would I join the rebellion? Maybe, probably not.
That's like saying, would you join the military or like a rebellion in real life or something?
Probably not.
Yeah, so.
But it would be cool to see other people do it.
Let me make sure. I have to keep up because so many of these are just Star Wars checks.
How many do you have more? How many left do you have more?
Like 2 more.
All right.
Okay. Would you rather live in Star Wars or the Hunger Games?
Star Wars. These are all terrible places to live, bro.
It's not supposed to be good ones. That's the point. You have to think about it.
I think Star Wars is genuinely good.
I don't think so. I think it could be dangerous, or you could end up in a really shitty, poor life.
It could be dangerous, but what if
you never leave? You're assuming the best of this, but you're not assuming the best of any other franchise because you're biased.
No, because
you like Star Wars the
best.
No.
Because there's
what if you're a wizard in Harry Potter?
No, but there's so much variety in Star Wars. Like the odds.
But
are
I don't
telling
think so
me that
I don't think
something cool.
I don't think there's so much cool variety. I think there's just a lot of different types of groups. That doesn't mean they're all like most of the groups of people in Star Wars are just regular versions of people in that reality. The odds of you being someone really cool in Star Wars is not any greater, in my opinion, than the odds of being someone cool in any of these other franchises.
No, but a middle class Star Wars person, let's just say I'm a middle class Star Wars person, that's still better than my life right now because I can just live on a fine, okay planet, be a little happy, and then drive a speeder to work every day instead of a car. That's sick.
I don't know that it would. I don't know. I don't think it's basically right. It's mundane, and it might not be as nice as you're making it out to be. Is what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even if I get the middle, like I can get something awesome, I can get something shitty. But even if I get the odds are the middle of the pack, it's still cooler than regular life.
I don't know. I guess
I'd be Anakin Skywalker though, so it's fun.
All right, the last one. It's kind of interesting. Star Wars or Avatar? So like Pandora.
Oh. Okay, I thought it was different Avatar.
Well, you thought like Last Airbender?
Because I think I would pick that.
Well, what about Pandora?
I'm going Star Wars over Pandora.
Really? Pandora is more beautiful, I think, than anything I've ever seen in Star Wars.
I would be a Na'vi, right?
I mean, most likely. You're not living on Earth, so the world of Avatar is Pandora. So
I'm not like a human placed into Pandora.
No. Well, maybe you're a human that went into an avatar, like Jake Sully.
Maybe, but like, I'm assuming I know the world, right? Because
yeah. Like to me personally, no disrespect, Star Wars has some incredible cinematography, but Pandora itself is more beautiful than any other planet in the Star Wars galaxy.
That probably is the hardest one because if I was a Na'vi, like right now I look at it, I go, I don't want to live like that because they barely wear clothes and they use bow and arrows to hunt food.
But you wouldn't care. It'd be
I wouldn't
sick
care.
To you.
And it is cool to ride a dragon.
Yeah.
And it is pretty cool to be like 8 feet tall and have a tail. I still would pick Star Wars, but if you said Avatar: The Last Airbender, to be a bender, possibly.
You also might be a fucking cabbage guy.
I might, but I think the odds are like almost 50-50 or something like that, right?
I don't think it's 50-50. I don't think it's like 90-10. I don't think it's 50-50.
Maybe it's like 80. No, maybe it's like 60-40 or something.
It's probably like 75-25.
Still, I think being a bender would be pretty sweet.
It would be. So that would change your answer, though, if it was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
If it was Avatar: The Last Airbender, it would. But you gave me Avatar.
No, I know. I'm just curious since you brought it up.
So the winner is Star Wars.
So Star Wars sweeps the gauntlet.
Clean sweep of Star Wars.
From beginning to end. I thought Stranger Things was going to win because I thought you were going to see the downside in a potential Star Wars like the other ones too, and Stranger Things is the least. Like, I would argue the downside of the Stranger Things world is the least bad downside of any of them because it's just regular life if you're not in Hawkins.
Um, I would say that the least bad downside would be Harry Potter.
No, because you have like Voldemort and shit. Like, shit can definitely. I mean, living in a world of magic,
Does he do
even if
shit
you don't
to
know
the
it.
Muggles? I don't remember.
Well, people are like racist against the Muggles, dude. They like treat them like shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
but you'll never interact with those people.
well, you might.
That'd be cool. You're like walking at the train station, you just walk through a wall. You're like,
Yeah,
what
you're
the
like, what the
fuck, dude?
fuck? You look around, you're like, what the hell's going on? I just thought that was interesting because obviously that's like a category that's been done or asked before. But I saw a tweet online that made me laugh because someone was like, it was a similar question, but solely about horror films, and it was like, which horror film would you most likely be able to like live in?
Uh,
And someone goes Midsummer, and I just wouldn't move to Sweden. Like,
just stay away from
I just
Sweden.
wouldn't go to Sweden. And the only other one that made me laugh on that thread, someone goes Hereditary because I'm not related to the family, so I'd be fine.
Is
And I was
that
like, that's actually really funny. Yeah, you gotta see the movie.
never seen
But
it, but I'm
you,
sure it's
you got,
hilarious.
but it. I mean, think about the title, Hereditary. Just think about it right there.
And
So,
it goes with it.
yeah, I thought that was really funny. So yeah, just stay away from Sweden, I guess is the point, and live in Star Wars, apparently. I
Star Wars.
think
All right, you know what?
well
Wait.
wait, out of all of those, what would you pick if not Star Wars? Just since that swept the gauntlet before we end the episode.
Uh,
Do you remember all of them?
yeah, I think I would pick Marvel would be cool, but very, very dangerous.
Dangerous. That's the only thing.
Um, I'd probably pick Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it would just be like regular life for me because I wouldn't know anything. And if there's a small, small chance that I could become a wizard, I'll take it.
I would maybe pick Harry Potter. I'd probably pick Avatar. If not, like, actually, maybe of all of them, I think Avatar would be the coolest. I think being a Navi and living on Pandora would be so sick. I don't know.
I I'm trying to look something up right now. Um, what are the odds of like the odds of being force sensitive in Star Wars is 1 in 10 billion. That's actually insane.
Says who?
Uh, Reddit.
Okay.
Well,
Either way, then you're very likely not force sensitive. So I don't know. I just feel like if
okay,
you
wait,
end
wait,
up living under empirical control, that fucking sucks.
wait, wait.
Good luck.
Let's do this real quick. Random Star Wars planet generator, just to see where you and I would live if we randomly replaced in Star Wars universe.
Well, who's going first?
I'll go. Ready? Okay, here we go. Wait, what the fuck?
Okay. This is going great.
Hold on. Bear with me, guys.
My horses are being held, man. They've been
Okay,
held,
okay,
being
okay.
held, continue to hold, forever hold. They're in the stable. They want to come
Ready?
out. Yep.
Our planets, so I'm gonna do both of them at the same time. I'll go. You want to be first or second? One or two?
One. One is fun.
All right. You are living on Felucia,
Oh.
and I am living on Mon Cala. So
like
I
the
would be
like the game.
you. No, that like the Admiral Akbar.
I know, but I just realized that they fucking named it after the fucking
That is
game.
true. That is true.
That's so
So,
stupid.
dude, you would be a two tentacle Twi'lek,
Yeah.
and I'd be Mon Calamari.
Interesting.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I fuck with it. All right. Well, let's wrap things up like always with Seesaw. I guess I'll go first because you went first for the Star Wars planet. So
Take
fuck
it.
it. Something that I saw this past week was that film that people are talking about online, the Ice Cube adaptation of War of the Worlds.
I want to see it, bro.
I gotta say, I I can't even believe that this movie fucking exists. Like, it's actually kind of astonishing. It's almost a little impressive. It's like one of those ones like The Room, you know, the Tommy Wiseau, The Room,
Yeah, yeah.
where it's like so bad that it's funny, and it's like, I mean, it almost makes Madam Web look good in regards. Like,
That's crazy. I've seen clips.
it's
I've seen clips.
the movie is so crazy. There was like a shot. There was like a first of all they'll use like reaction shots over and over like the same thing, and then there's like things. There's like one point because the whole movie's obviously behind like his computer desk on his camera.
Why the fuck would they make that like
Well,
that?
there's been things like that before, like the movie Missing,
Yeah,
things
but
like
not
that.
War
But
of the Worlds.
I know for War of the Worlds it was so fucking stupid. This did not feel like War of the Worlds. I was trying to like even think of like the Tom Cruise Steven Spielberg one. So I like that movie. I think
It's a
it's a
good
good
movie.
movie. And then I'm like watching this, I'm like, holy shit. But like there was at one point where it does like a dolly zoom with the camera to up into him, which is like that iconic kind of shot in a movie
Uh-huh.
where like the background it like kind of zooms out in him at the same time with the foreground and the background. It's not something that it would happen in that kind of. It just was like it made no sense because it was like, is he pushing his computer away while zooming in at the same time on his camera? Like it didn't make any fucking sense. I was like, dude, this movie is actually so insanely bad. It's also flat out Amazon propaganda, straight up.
I
Could not
saw.
be more Amazon propaganda in your face. I'm just astonished is the word at the existence of this movie.
I saw on TikTok he doesn't have a flash drive, so fucking Roderick from Diver Wimpy Kid is like, I'll just Amazon like drone it to you, whatever that thing is called. And then they go on like,
Yeah,
don't they like bribe a homeless person with Amazon gift cards or something?
because like in order to save the day, yeah, he needed it on the Amazon thing, and they bribed with the $1,000 Amazon gift card to get him to flip the drone around. It was
This
just
is
like
War of the Worlds, and he's like bribing a homeless guy with
with
Amazon
a
gift
$1,000
cards.
Amazon gift card during War of the Worlds.
Oh my god, dude.
Fucking actually so stupid. Out of 1,545 films that I have marked as watched on Letterbox in the 8 years that I have had this app, only 17 I have marked half a star. This was one of them.
This was the 17th.
This was the 17th one
That's crazy.
of all of them.
Is it the
So
worst one?
I don't have them ranked. I don't know if I would say it's the worst one. I mean, it's one of them
You
for
should make a
sure.
list of your half a stars ranked
I
every time
just
you have a new
I
one.
just can't even think of a ranking. They're just all so insanely. I'll give you a couple like Cats, the Emoji
Yeah.
Movie, Madam Web, Morbius were both in there. A film that came out in 1995 with Whoopi Goldberg called Theodore Rex about a tough female police detective paired with a talking dinosaur looking for a killer of dinosaurs. Uh, I can't believe I've seen that.
I
So,
heard this
it,
movie's gonna make an Ice Cube $1 billion.
Ice Cube. Did you see that like weird Minecraft promo that he did that was like kind of
No.
related with it? Yeah, fucking weird. Is he? I'm like, is Ice Cube in debt? Is he okay? Does he
Yeah,
need
like
help?
he could start
Someone
a
holding him
GoFundMe or
hostage?
something.
Yeah, we'll help you out, buddy. Like, do cameos, man. Don't do this.
Yeah, get on Cameo.
This is crazy.
Hop on the box office
Um,
dynasty. We'll pay him like 30
yeah,
bucks.
I'll give you whatever I can to help out the Ice Cube Foundation. So
Yeah.
that's something that I saw, unfortunately, and something that I want to see still. This was something that I wanted to see a couple weeks ago. It came out, and I have not had the chance to start it because it's been summer. Maybe I didn't go to Bermuda, but I have been busy, so I
Uh-huh.
didn't have a chance to start it yet. Alien Earth. I'm really excited for this. The first couple episodes came out. The only thing I saw was that like split diopter shot between the main character and Sid the Sloth. I have no idea how Sid the Sloth plays
That's from
into
Alien
Alien
Earth?
Earth. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
very
I saw
excited to
that.
see how that's going to play into Alien Earth, but I'm just excited for in general because I love this franchise and it's really interesting and it looks really good and it has really good reviews. So that's a show on Hulu that I haven't gotten around to. And maybe tonight I'll finally get the opportunity to start it. Actually, who knows? But I really am excited for Alien Earth.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. I'm glad we're getting a lot of Alien and Predator content these last few years to get
Yeah.
newer fans like myself into them. Because I watched Prey, and then I watched Predator, Killer of Killers, and then I watched Alien Romulus, and now I'm excited for this show, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and I know you've seen Alien. You should watch Aliens, the
I
James
know.
Cameron one. And then I mean, there's also Prometheus and Covenant in that section of this
I'll get
world
to
as
him.
well. And then the original Predator movie. Wait, you've seen the original Predator
No,
movie?
I've never
Yeah,
seen anything
you should
besides
see
Prey
the
and
ori- the.
Badland, or
I've
not
seen the
Badlands, the other
original
one.
Predator movie. It's a fun movie, so you should. It's I think this is a really fun universe, and it's funny that they have somehow started as separate ones that have kind of fused into like some kind of hybrid one. And
Yeah,
I love seeing them kind of. I like that it's not fully integrated most of the time. That it's just like little touches that you are like, there's some weird shit in this reality. There's predators and alien shit going on. Whatever. It's cool. I don't know.
maybe
So I'm excited.
in Badlands we'll see more connection.
It'd be sick to see some kind of connection there. We'll see. I mean, obviously the Elle, like we said, the Elle Fanning character, she's one of the way more droids. So we'll see.
Something that I'm going to see tomorrow night is Weapons. I just got my tickets, so I will be seeing Weapons tomorrow. There's not really much to talk about that.
Let's
'Cause we
go.
kind of talked about that a lot
Have you
already.
seen Barbarian?
No, I've never seen Barbarian.
Interesting.
I've
If
seen a
you
lot of
had it,
clips of it on TikTok
yeah,
though.
no. I mean, if you have time at some point, you got to watch it.
And something I saw, this is really stupid, but I was in Bermuda for the last week, so I not not watching a lot of stuff. But the cruise ship hotel room, whatever you want to call it, was playing a lot of Shark Tank on the TV. So I watched a lot of Shark Tank, and I never really see. I've seen a little bit of Shark Tank. Obviously, I've never really watched like full on episodes. But dude, it was fucking good. Like I was actually really enjoying watching Shark Tank and watching these like people either be really stupid or make bank. And it's products you've heard of too. Like I see the fucking Scrub Daddy when I go to Target. That's like $1 billion corporation. It's just a scrub for your shower with a smiley face on it. And every time I watch Shark Tank, I'm like, how the fuck did I not think of this? It's
Because
crazy.
you're not as smart as these people.
I can't cut a circle, a scrub into a circle and put smiley face on it. I guess I can't.
Evidently not.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about Shark Tank that you mentioned super quick? Did you see the trailer for Marty Supreme? We mentioned it briefly on this podcast
Um,
towards the beginning when we first started. That ping pong movie starring Timothy Chalamet, directed by Josh Safdie. It's the first time the two Safdie brothers have split. I don't know if did you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I saw it. I saw part of the trailer. I didn't finish
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah. Did you see that Kevin O'Leary himself, Mr. Wonderful, is in the movie in his first acting role?
No, I didn't see that part.
Yeah. Well, when we after we're done recording here, you should go watch the trailer. Also, Tyler the Creator, which I think is really funny. So that trailer came out, and speaking of Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary gonna have his first acting
There you
role
go.
alongside Timothy Chalamet and Marty Supreme.
This episode is all connected.
It really was in a lot of ways. It's very beautiful. I liked it.
It's poetic.
Yeah, perhaps I loved it. Maybe you could even say I want some more of it. And you know what?
Maybe
You can get some more of the Box Office Dynasty. And when you follow us on all our socials, we're at the Box Office Dynasty
at
on
Box Office Dynasty.
at Box Office Dynasty on
Fucking unprofessional. Doesn't
No,
even
I
know
just
what our ad is.
tripping on my
Fucking
words.
dude, you're sending
You know
people the wrong way.
if they look up the Box Office Dynasty, they'll still find it. So it doesn't matter. But it's at Instagram and TikTok and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube and maybe Shark Tank if Jack thinks of something, but he probably won't.
Let's sell it. Just sell the company.
Please subscribe. Please like and comment. Comment box or Bible study numbers. We didn't have it this week, but next week we'll be reviewing Fat City. So comment numbers, and maybe we'll be looking at yours after that. And share with your fellow friends and film lovers. And anything else, Jack?
We love you guys. Bye.